Hey everyone, it's Gloria Hester here, and I am just fresh off of one of my body magic calls. And today we had such a great conversation around something that I really feel like would benefit a broader audience. So I want to share that with you. So we were talking about how if you start with the end in mind, meaning the end of your life, how would you like to see the end of your life play out? What would you like to have accomplished by the time you reach the time that it's time for you to transition? So a lot of people, they get really depressed if they think about that. That's one of the reasons I love yoga, is because when you recognize that you're a spirit and that doesn't really end, and all the energy that you've created in this lifetime is not for nothing. So regardless of what you think about the results that you have right now, it doesn't mean that you can't change that really quickly. So I invite you today to connect with your desires, your heart's longings for what you would like to have accomplished in your life, the way you want to feel, and the way you want to help others feel, and connect with that deeply in your heart so that you can start to operate from that place and make your choices from that place and make your decisions from that place. So today I'm all bundled up because I'm choosing to go and work with a horse. And we talked about, with the temperatures being as cold as it is here today, maybe we should postpone it until it gets warmer. But then I thought about how I want to feel at the end of my life and what I want to have accomplished, um, particularly with horses, at the end of my life. And I thought, well, creating a day where I stay in bed is probably not going to create that end result for me. Hi, Ed Ratchford. Thank you for joining. Hi, Josh. A lot of my favorite yogis and heart healers are signing in today, so thank you for showing up. So we're just talking about creating every day with the end result in mind, and how being so in flow can help you to create the end result that you want for yourself and others. Staying connected to your heart and staying connected to your desires for the big picture of your life is what's going to help you to create every day, so that you're showing up every day. Thank you guys so much. I love you so much. Staying connected to your heart desires and letting that serve you and serve the planet. So it doesn't matter if it's one person at a time or one animal at a time or just yourself for that day. Your life is a gift, and so you can choose to spend the day in a way that is going to move you toward your end goal. And the importance of staying in flow here is what matters. So if you think about, in the animal kingdom, we have a flock of geese, and those geese will they'll take a formation and they'll help each other on their journey. The ones that are the leaders will turn around and go to the back of the formation, and they'll glide for a while, and the ones that are in front will work really hard and take everybody forward, and then the ones in the back will honk and cheer them on. So they say, they're really saying, good job, you can do it, keep going, to help them keep their energy up. And then the ones at the front, when it's time for them to rest, they'll go around to the back of the formation, and the other ones that have been cheering on, then they'll I guess work their wings, and so when we can all be in flow with each other the way nature is in flow, then we will be positioned at the right place at the right time. As long as we're staying conscious, we'll be positioned in the right place at the right time so that we can help one another. So horses do the same things. Herds of horses, if you ever watch them in the wild and they run together, it's really beautiful. They don't hurt each other. They don't bounce off of each other. They take formation, and they can make really quick turns. And I feel as though when we are all doing our part, that we're doing the same thing in a way. We're showing up for someone when they need us most. And if we're so in flow, we can literally show up, like the minute they're about to drop something, we'll be there to catch it. And so just being aware of that with the intention that we're here to live a life full of joy and purpose, and we are here to serve ourselves and each other, then when we are in alignment that way, that we'll be that for one another. And not in not in this. There's a smaller way to do that in the psychology world. They call it codependence. So there's a way to do it that's not the highest way, if you will. When you're here and you're about your soul's mission and your soul's journey, you're showing up with love for yourself and others, and it might not always look that way. So I want to be very clear about my message about this whole idea of being in alignment and what it is to be in alignment for yourself and for others. So hi, Eliana, big hug to you. I think you're in Venice, and hello to your sweet dog, Pepsi. So, but being in flow means that we are like that. We can support each other in ways that we can't even consciously comprehend. So we can't know ahead of time all the time, but when we can know is when we're in alignment or out of alignment for ourselves, and that compass is our heart. So hi Iris, I love you guys so much. A lot of true heart healers here today from all over the world. I love our community, and so the main message today, I just want to encourage you all to be so in flow and be so in alignment with your own heart and your own purpose that it is happening that way. When someone drops something, you're there to catch it. And we're all that for each other. On my Body Magic call this morning, we shared about a woman who was losing her vision, and she lived in a city. And I was just pointing out that if we were all the way horses are or the way geese are, that this woman, even though she didn't have her physical sight, she would be so guided and so cared for within the community that she would literally be carried from point A to point B, and be really taken care of if we were all very sattvic. So, hello Sarah Campbell, praise John, thank you. So, if we were all very sattvic in our nervous systems, it's a Sanskrit word, and it means very balanced and of the essence. So when you're in a consciousness that is of that higher consciousness and a higher essence, meaning some people would say a more godlike quality, or your higher self, or you're more connected with the universe, then that is a time when you can be more in flow, and you can show up in a way that you could be there for that person who doesn't have their sight, and we're literally acting as a herd. Thank you, Ed, and we'll have an awesome day. We're literally acting as a herd in that way, that we are so in flow with one another that if there's someone there who needs that kind of help, they'll just go through the city in a cared for way, just the way that can happen with a flock of geese or a herd of horses. And with humans, we know in a city there can be a lot of chaos, and so very disjointed, kind of a scary way for people if you have lost your way. And but if we're all doing our part and our piece, then we're actually going to be there for each other in a way where no one is feeling the struggle. In that way, we're really helping one another along and saying, I'm here for you, I've got you, it's safe to cross the street. And so I wanted to share that message with you today, and really just to remind us all that that animals are a great representation of what's possible on the planet in some ways around how they relate to one another, and they're not having to try. It's natural, so they're not having to try to be a certain way. And really, when we're in our sattvic state, in our sattvic essence, we are not having to try either. We just are. And then we're just showing up in that moment to be of service. So thank you so much for joining today. And I just encourage you to start with the end in mind, meaning you are thinking about how you'd like to feel at the end of your life, what you've accomplished, and what you've brought to the planet, because you've definitely come here for a reason, and how you'd like to feel. And so you're starting every day with that end in mind. Hello, Kevin Carton. I'm sending you a big hug, my brother. I love you so much. Thank you for joining. And so you're starting with the end in mind, and you're just planning out your day accordingly, and you're doing it from a place of joy. So that is the quickest way I know to all get in alignment, as though we are a herd of horses or a flock of geese. So we're all soaring together or moving through this space together in a way that's helping serve each other. And so whether you live in the country or whether you live in the city, you still can help to create some flow in your own nervous system, and some flow in those around you, in your communities and in your cities and in your world. When you're doing your part, you are helping to create that flow, and people can feel it, and they'll love you for it. um, and we really can make a difference. I know a lot of people think that there's so much going on that we can't make a difference, but it's just not true. It's a belief, but it's not serving you, and it's not serving anyone around you. So connecting to the reality of the fact that you don't really, when you are in your essence, you are just being, and you're not even really in that way having to try. Just like the geese, they just naturally will form and fly with one another and support each other. So if you see someone that you can reach out to today and be of service to them, just recognize that you're just going back to your true nature, and that you're actually helping one another, and we're lifting each other up on those currents. And so it's just a beautiful teaching from nature that I wanted to share with you. We had a great inspired call this morning, and I just want to reach out to you and encourage you today to follow your heart. And even though you might not know there's how you're going to do something, there definitely is a way. And that's part of it, is just to have the faith that, you know, if it's been a seed that's planted in your heart, that the way will be provided. And just make your intentions strong, and do everything you can every single day, to starting with the end in mind. What can you do today? Just one little thing. So today I chose, you can see I'm wearing my vest. It's super cold here. But today I chose to go and be with a horse who I adore and love. Because I want to be of service to him and to his guardian. And so that was my starting with the end in mind. Because for me, I want to make a difference for horses in the world and for their owners and their stewards, so that they can have a better quality of life through conscious movement and through a healing art. And and I love being able to share this with you all on Facebook. It's a lot of fun for me to connect. Hi, Dan. Thank you so much for loving this work and believing in this work that I'm doing with the animals and with people. Thank you so much for everything you guys do. And so I think that's really it, is just to know that you can be in flow by making a conscious choice in the moment. And yeah, so Kevin Carton says he says, I'm being me today as I serve. Awesome. You're awesome, Kevin. Thank you. I love that. So I think that's the main lesson, is just recognizing that when we are in flow, and we can be like a herd of horses, we can really fly and do amazing things and make really quick turns. It's beautiful to watch, and it just lets you know that they're synchronized in their nervous systems. And one of my messages is around movement. Then when we're synchronized, when we are somatically integrated in our nervous systems, it is much easier for us to be in flow with one another like that, so that when we do see that woman on the street in the city who can't see, if we were in our natural way, in our higher way, as though we are a herd or a tribe, then we're going to be naturally doing that for one another. We're going to be there for each other, helping one another get from point A to point B, as so many of you have already lovingly, who joined today on this Facebook Live, so many of you have lovingly been there for me to help me get from point A to point B, whether it was a thought or a place to stay as I was teaching and studying, or just so many things, real heart connections that we've all connected with each other all over the globe at this point. So if you have any questions about what I've shared with today about conscious movement and helping each other get from point A to point B, and how that works in the nervous system to be in a more sattvic state, feel free to reach out to me. You can private message me, or you can comment below. You can also go to my website, gloriahesteryoga.com, if you want to connect there. We're going to be reopening Body Magic again. That's where we meet once a week, and it's a very powerful cause of mindful movement and sharing from a deep heart space about your vision of how you'd like to see yourself in the world and what you want to help bring to the world. So if you think that Body Magic might be a place that you want to come and work together, I'd love to talk with you about the program. And but I support you every way I can, regardless. So thank you so much for joining today. I love you all, and please feel free to reach out to me in the comments below or private message me to continue this conversation. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. And I'm sending you all my love today, and I hope you all are staying warm wherever you are. And I look forward to seeing you all soon. Namaste. Mwah. I love you.